Hi parents, this is Coach John from Learning Out of the Box. And if you are a P5 or P6 parents, I really want you to watch this video because this is one of the more challenging problem type. And again, because though it's challenging, but there is a fixed way of solving it. Yeah, which also means that you can literally spot questions like that, and then you can do it, get it right, and score full marks for such question. So, okay, let me do the recording, and let me share the slide. Okay, so for this kind of question, actually, it used to be a primary 6 question, in my opinion. Then later along the way, somehow, I'm not sure why, but it slips into P5 papers. Yeah, so I always encourage parents to learn in advance because your questions are getting more and more challenging by the year. Yeah. Okay, so when you see such a question, instead of saying that it's confusing or where should I start or why is it so long, there is always a fixed way to solve such question. Okay, there's always a fixed way. And do you remember our 5-step LOB method, which is KCNSU? KCNSU. And K stands for keyword. Okay, K stands for keyword. So always start off with highlighting keyword. Sam has some apples and pears in the ratio 3:7. Okay, then generally, if possible, I will box out the change using another color, then followed by another color for after. Yeah, for after. So again, make sure that it's in the same order: apples, pears, and then 3:2. Sometimes the setter will play trick on you. Here, there's apple and pear. Here, the order is apple and pear. Some examiners will change it to pears and apple. So you need to know when to swap. Okay? So let me just be a bit more detailed. Okay, so in this case, this is the before. This is the before. Then we also have the change. This is the change. And this is the after. After ratio. Okay, after ratio. Okay, let me be even more detailed. Yeah, before ratio, change, and after ratio. And every time when you see such a pattern, the question is always units and parts. Okay, let me write down units and parts. Or some call it external unequal change. I have heard of a name used by a kid, everything change. Also can, it's up to you. But I think that external unequal change still it sounds better. Now, how do you solve units and parts? Remember, I've always taught you layout learning. What's the layout? The layout is, let me see what I can do to make it neat. Okay, the layout is always to draw a table. Okay, so you draw a big table. Then you have 4 rows. Make sure that the row is big and spacious. then you have 3 columns. Later I'll tell you why you need it to be spacious. Okay, so using the same color, B, C, A. So we have B, C, A. Before, change, after. Yeah. Then we have apples and pears. So apples and pears, and we have 3:7 from here, and then 3:2 for the before ratio and after ratio. And you realize that now I'm not even solving it yet. Yeah, and a lot of times I don't know why our children are taught to be so reactive towards questions. They see a question, they will just whack and anyhow solve. But I think that, in fact, if you look at the problem sums closely, every of them has a core type or a core heuristic concept that you must be able to recognize. And in fact, children who do well tend to be able to recognize it more easily and faster. So if you want your child to do well, you really have to spend some time with your kid, no matter how busy you are, helping your child to work through and to walk through the 12 basic heuristic concepts that all P5 should know by the end of the year. Okay? Okay, so now what about SOT 15? So SOT means less, right? So SOT is minus. BOD means you have some more, so BOD means plus, okay? Okay, and again, you realize that there's so much work to be done and I'm not even solving it yet. Probably to some of you, it's a bit confusing already, but not to worry, you can always watch the replay and understand. Yeah, this is expected out of a primary 5 kid. Yeah, so can you imagine how tough our Singapore math is? Which also means that if your child is in P5 right now, if I were you, I will want my child to start preparing his PSLE for next year. Yeah. Okay. So now, okay, this is when you really have to follow, because these two are ratio, right? So you can put in units. And again, these two are ratio, and you know that there's the existence of parts as well. Okay, parts. Do not play as U because you cannot assume that they are of the same. Yeah. Now, the standard way of solving units and parts using simultaneous equations is to make the parts the same. So let me repeat. The standard way of solving units and parts using simultaneous equations of two unknowns is always to make the parts the same. So what is the common multiple of 3 and 2? Is 6, right? So times 2 times 3. And you realize that even I have a lot of space here, but it's not enough to write 2 rows of numbers. So I have to use different colors to help you to understand. And to be fair, everything here must times 2 for this column. Okay. And then here is times 3. All right, times 3. Okay, so give me a shout out and say yes if you are still following. I did this many times for parents workshops, and by now, half of the parents are like, they're seeing stars. Give me a yes if you are following what I'm doing and you're still with me so far. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, good. Thanks for replying, yeah? Okay, now, next, you want to write down the 2 equations. So we have, okay, let me use heart shape. Yeah, I love to use a heart shape. You look at all the heart shape, okay? The heart shape. hearts. Look at all the hearts. Thanks, mommy. Okay. Okay, so you have 6 hearts. So right now you want to write down the equations. Yeah, so you have 6u minus 30 equals to 6 parts. And you have second equation, which is 21u plus 90 equals to 6 parts. Okay. Okay, this is when the child gets even more confused. So if you want to make sure that you teach your child effectively, step 1 is your table, getting your table out. Step 2 will be your 2 simultaneous equations. Get your child to fully understand step 1 first, which is your whole table, including your 6 hearts, yeah, your 6 heart shape, before you move on to solving simultaneous equation. And again, by now, probably many parents are saying, can I use algebra? Can I use algebra to solve? Okay. Okay, so let me solve first before I answer any question. Okay, so right now, we have equation 1 and equation 2. And it's always easier to look at the plus, yeah? So if you are to do a model, so we have 21u and 90, okay? Okay, 21u and 90, so 21u and 90, and here we have 6 parts. Okay, here you have 6 parts. So now, okay, so now what should I do? Okay, give me a minute, yeah. Okay, so now what should I do? Sometimes when I do halfway, I get confused. Yeah, so parents, help me out. What should I do now? Okay, in the meantime, let me just stop share for a moment and I check on whether I'm on the right track, yeah? Okay. Okay, great, great. 60. Okay. Oh, what happened to my answer? Oh dear, my answer is gone. Okay, okay, never mind. Yeah, my answer is gone. Okay, so anyway, again, there's always opportunity. Let me just quickly solve it together with you. Yeah, so I have okay, parents, do you still remember what I've written? Okay, okay, give me a minute, yeah, because I'm facing some technical issue right now. Okay. Okay, in the meantime, I think you can still hear me. For units and parts, there are a few types. Yeah, there are a few types, meaning that you can see the before and after ratio. You can see before and after ratio. Then type 1 is always something to do with the change. Okay, so meaning that, can you see this? Can you see this sold and bought? So for the basic units and parts type 1, problem sum type, you have bot, yeah. So take notes of this and write out in a notebook. For second type will be sort and bot, yeah. So this is under type 2. Then for type 3 will be sort, yeah, sort. For type 4, sometimes you have a 2if inside units and parts. So you need to take note of this as well. Okay, so give me some time to quickly draw. In the meantime, I will also explain what I'm doing. Okay, so for units and parts, you need to always quickly draw your table. Yeah, this is what I teach the P6s. When you see units and parts, this is your basic BCA, yeah, your BCA. Then you have apples and pears and 3 to 7 and minus 15 plus 30. Okay. Okay, if you have any question, I will do it later because I realize that if I exit out from the Zoom, all my working is gone. Yeah, all my working is gone. So I can't exit out like that. Okay, so same thing here. You have 6 parts because remember, you have to make parts the same. So you have, I know already. Okay, now I know why I got it wrong. Okay, I got it wrong because of this. Yeah, I got tricked. Can you see sort 15 pairs? So sort 15 pairs is here and then plus 30 apples. Okay, so next you have 2 times 2. So you have plus 60 and then times 3 minus 45. Okay, thanks parents for sharing with me my mistake. Yep. So times 2 times 3 as well, so it's 21U. Okay. Now, so this is step 1, okay, which I promised and we did earlier. And you know that you have to go through step 1 before you can go to step 2. Step 2 will be writing down the equations. Okay. Okay. And in fact, many adults say that the only way to solve this is to teach children how to solve it in an algebra way. Again, for me, because I teach my own girls, so I know the difficulties that my children as well as my students are facing. And I never use algebra to solve unless it's something like this. Okay? I mean, this is part of syllabus. So remember, it's easier to draw using the plus. So you have 60, 6u plus 60. So what I'm trying to do here is I draw 6u and I have 60. Okay, and the total is actually 6 parts. Okay. Next, this is the part that you need to follow. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so now minus. How do you actually do with minus without going through the set 1 algebra way? Yeah, set 1 algebra way. Okay, so let it be a story. 21u is really long, such that you must cut away 45 to bring it back to 6p. Okay, so 21 is really long. So 21 u is here, such that you must bring back 45, not drawn to scale, to reach 6p. Okay, to reach 6p. And let me insert back the hearts. The hearts look really nice. Okay, and the hearts goes to here as well. Okay. Okay, so let me repeat. The story is like this. Okay, it may not make sense, but it makes sense to most kids. So 21u is it overshoots, yeah, overshoots beyond 6p, such that you have to move back by 45 steps to reach back your 6p. Give me a yes if this story makes sense to you. Give me a yes if this story makes sense to you. Good. So before I solve it, yeah, let me recap. You have two steps here. Yeah, step one is the table form. Step two is your simultaneous equation. And then if I want to do another step three, will be using model to solve the simultaneous equation without going through the algebra method. Okay. So is making parts equal to each other applicable only when both changes? Yes. This is units and parts concept. Units and parts. And it means external unequal change. External unequal change. Okay. So with this, let me continue to solve. So can you see that? This is like a more than. Yeah, this is like a more than. Sorry, yes, it's a more than. Then the orange part is actually 60 plus 45. Again, not drawn to scale. Yeah, so we have 60 plus 45. 60 plus 45 is actually 105. Okay. And then you look at the purple bar, it's actually more than, so 21u minus 6u is 15u. Okay, it's 15u. So what's 1u? 15u is 105 and 1u is 7. Okay, now here comes the interesting part. And in fact, for units and parts, I can talk the whole day because there are so many things to learn from units and parts. Now, find the total number of fruits he had at first. Okay? Parents, I need you to participate. Give me the total units for the total number of fruits at first. Type in. Yeah? Tell me the total number of units that represents the total number of fruits he had at first. In the meantime, let me rest for a while. Okay, we have one answer. Anybody else? What about the rest? Again, the more you participate, the more you learn. This is the law of nature, the law of learning. If you want to learn faster, you have to participate. Yeah, and then when you are upgraded in terms of your teaching skill, then you can help your child. Yeah. Okay, so I only have one answer. All right, if your answer is 10, congratulations, well done. Now, the next question for you is, how are you going to explain to your kid that is 10? Okay, how are you going to explain to your kid that is 10? And for parents who participated, I really appreciate it. Yeah, it's not easy to get parents to join in. In my opinion, there are two reasons. Sometimes they get confused, they don't know what to do. Second is they are afraid that they are wrong. Yeah. So again, in this lesson, it's okay to be wrong, yeah. And even if you got it wrong, what I will do is, as a teacher, I will just correct it, and then you move on, I move on, and then you learn more things. This should be the attitude, or this should be how learning should be, yeah. Okay, so how do you explain that it's 10? Okay, how do you explain? Okay, for simultaneous equation, you need to balance this. Remember, you need to balance this to solve. So is 6u and 21u the real units? No, they are not. Yeah, they are multiplied so that the parts are equals. The actual units that represents the total number of pears and apples is actually 3 and 7. Yeah, so you want to use the word actual, the original. 6u and 21u are not the real one because it's created, it's multiplied because we want to make parts the same to solve it. Yeah, so total we have 3u plus 7u, so we have 10u. Then so 10u is equals to, okay, 10u is equals to 10 times 7 equals to 70. That's it. Okay, so so do take notes that in units and parts, if you want to solve, you want to find the original one, the original, which is the 3u and 7u. Yeah, okay. So but for the ratio, like for concepts like same one, same difference, same total, you want to use the after ratio because the after ratio are created to fulfill the condition of having either same total or same difference or same one. If you don't know what I'm saying, go and watch my videos. I did explain when to use what. Okay. Yeah, so these are the basic rules that parents can actually know easily and learn easily. And then this is when we parents actually can better support our children. Again, why parents should do that is because math is not so easy. Yeah, it's not so easy. And it's getting harder. Okay, it's getting harder. And that's why I'm here to help you. Yeah. Okay, so this is the end of this Facebook Live. Okay. Hang around. You'll see me doing another 2 more. Okay, just hang around.